We welcome you here. No matter your age, your size, or how you speak, you are welcome here. No matter the color of your skin, your hair, or your eyes, you are welcome here. No matter whom you love or how your family is composed, you are welcome here. Whether your ability to contribute comes in the form of time, talent, or treasure, you are welcome here. No matter how you express your gender identity or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. Come with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. You are welcome here. Our opening hymn this morning is number 131 in your gray hymnal. Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Chelsea is going to light the chalice for us today. Oh, I need to find her. Oh, there she is.
We gather this hour as people with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. May we shine a light of love. May we shine a light of love in every thought, with every step we take. May we shine a light of love. May we shine a light of hope. May we shine a light of hope. With every thought, with every step we take, may we shine a light of hope. So this week for Time for All Ages, people of all ages sent in beautiful pictures of our Blue Boat home, nature pictures, in celebration of Earth Day, which was last Wednesday. And this is our compilation. For next week, we're going to be taking colorful pictures. And so if you want a picture of something and send it in, it should be mainly one color, like a close-up of a red flower or a green green bud or whatever it is, because we're going to put all of the pictures together to make kind of like a rainbow. So yeah, that's for next week. And I hope you enjoy our images of our beautiful Blue Boat home.
All below me I feel
Our centering words this morning come from our very own Billy Sage, who we love and we miss. What difference, religion, God, or no God, if you live love? If you live love and evolve a higher consciousness, the universe wins, and when you die, you return to all that is as fully love. If this is not the case, and you live love and return to free energy and elements when you die, the universe wins as all that is receives particles of love. If you believe in God and live love, the universe wins as you return it to your God as love when you die. Live love and let the universe and all that is win.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. This is a song I just wrote called The River. There's a river flowing. Can you feel its cool peace? Rushing over thirsty skin. Sometimes I find myself wading upwards to exerting. And I surrender to the flow. And unobstructed love suffuses into every pore. The river chatters and sings. And the river chatters and chatters and chatters and sings. The river chatters and sings. The river chatters and sings. Love endures all things. Love endures all things. Love endures all things. Love endures all things.
Thank you, Miriam. That was beautiful. So when I'm putting together my sermons, I usually start by looking back at previous sermons to see what I've already said about certain topics. Last night, however, I really wasn't feeling drawn to see what I had written about purpose and potential. The words that I felt drawn to were words of beauty. What my own soul was longing for last night, and still this morning, are words and images of beauty. And so I appreciate Chelsea and all of the photos that you guys shared for her wonderful video today, offering us just that. Somehow this week in my mind's eye, I have made a connection between purpose and beauty. Every year on Mother's Day, I title my sermon, The Face of Beauty. And so last night I looked back to see what I wrote. And it's funny because rereading the words from a year ago, I realized that this human soul, humanity transition that I have been talking about for so long, it started well before we took shelter 6 weeks ago. And I'm realizing this morning the reason that I needed to get reacquainted with beauty in order to talk about purpose is because at the deepest level, beauty and purpose go hand in hand. Living into our deepest and highest potential is in itself a form of beauty. Tapping into our life purpose is nothing more than the process of allowing ourselves to become who we were always meant to be on a soul level. And it's really as simple as that. So today, I want to combine the words I shared last year about beauty with how we all might understand our deeper purpose and potential this year in the midst of a pandemic. This is what I said last year. I wrote, I like to give examples I've had throughout the year of beauty. And this year, there seems to be a theme. But it's not the theme I would have expected when I close my eyes and ask for images of beauty to come to me. Because the images that started to come to me of beauty were images of people in pain. Images of thousands of people walking together in hopes of finding a new and safer home for themselves and their families. There's an image I can't get out of my head today of a photograph I saw of a Guatemalan mother with tears in her eyes as the US courts ruled that an American family gets to keep her child that the US government took from her 10 years ago when they raided a meat processing plant and put her in jail for being here illegally. This time last year, they had just given her child to an American family. That's the image I can't get out of my head when I think of beauty. Another image of beauty I have is the iconic image of the Syrian man holding his son in desperation with terror in his eyes, wading onto the beach. So why is my brain associating images of human suffering as examples of beauty? Maybe it's because these images are raw and real and there is no pretense around them. This is life being lived. So why are these images beautiful? Because they're certainly not images of joy. They are images that rip my heart open. And yet the images keep coming. It's the lone little flower with a beautiful purple bud bursting through the concrete sidewalk. It's the tens of thousands of turtles on the beach in Greece that hadn't been able to hatch and head for the sea for decades because of the trash, now filling the beach because the humans got together and cleaned it up. Beauty is the life force coming through in unexpected ways when we least expect it. It's the numerous extensions of love we offer one another in our darkest times. That is beauty. That is the divine principle. Beauty is the inner strength that we thought was buried and long gone, finding true expression once again through art, through music, through resilience. Beauty is thousands of teenagers refusing to go to school until we do something about our gun laws. Beauty is the waking up of a population that has been sleepwalking. Beauty is the individuated divine spark coming to life in each individual person as we open our eyes and look at the world and see it in a new way. Beauty is a human being who started out as Matthew and then became Abby and then turned herself into a gentle and graceful woman named Billy, who wrote poetry and then gracefully flew away. That is beauty. Beauty is the vulnerability of a woman who courageously approached me after one of my sermons during the Kavanaugh hearings, voice wavering with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Thank you. Even my own family wouldn't believe me." Beauty was her willingness to express that vulnerability and that courage to say words out loud that hadn't been spoken for 6 decades. That type of courage is true beauty. And so today I stand up here and I look around and I realize that every person I see is an expression of beauty. Every person sitting in this sanctuary has a story of courage and vulnerability and pain and hurt and survival, and each one of your unique individual stories is beautiful and holy. This year, it is blending all together. The needs of nature, the needs of human beings, the needs of animals, they are all being expressed in different ways. And the beauty comes from the awakening awareness that we are all one. Beauty was the image I had on Wednesday morning, right here in the sanctuary with Puka. This beautiful woman with dreadlocks giving a homeless man a haircut in the middle of our foyer. I loved that. One person extending a tad bit of kindness and dignity to another person with no motive other than to be kind. To me, that is beauty. Beauty is a little boy going to Roycehurst and choosing the biggest, oldest dog, understanding that even if it's only a 3-year friendship, it's well worth it. Beauty is the picture of that little boy rollerblading with his big old dog by his side. So what do all of these examples have in common? What turns these images into beauty for me? Because they're not all joyful. In fact, most of them are heartbreaking. Most of them today are in connection with human suffering and pain. But they are about interconnection, human dignity, and justice. We have been living in a very superficial culture, and that superficiality is killing us. Maybe it's the recognition that if we're going to survive, we have to start looking at what is real and paying attention to what is real. And the glamour of the long hair and the fake eyelashes doesn't cut it for us anymore. I've said this before, but we don't have time to be nice anymore. We have to begin to be real. And maybe part of being real is beginning to recognize the pain around us. Those images of children being separated from their families ripped my heart out. I was fundamentally changed by those images and knowing that our government is doing this. It was a naivety that I lost that I can't seem to get back. but I don't know if I want to get it back. I don't feel like I'm doing nearly enough, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing anything. But I guess I can stand up here and I can remind us over and over again what we can become so that we can begin to change where this country is headed. Because this week, another child died at school here in Colorado in an attempt to protect his friends. And then the next day, the very next day, our president held a rally in which he laughed with hundreds of my fellow citizens about the idea of wishing they could just shoot the people at the border. There's a post going around on Facebook that says, "Do you wonder what you would have done during World War II or the Civil Rights era? Well, what you are doing now is what you would have done then." And so this year, I'm going to be asking us to do things a bit differently. I'm going to be asking us to begin and to continue to truly live into our mission in a way that we don't even realize that we can do, because we are needed. And now is the time, and we have everything that we need to become a force in this valley. And if you are passionate about something, now is the time. And Miriam wants to start a community choir for at-risk youth. Puka is giving homeless people haircuts. Our Green Sanctuary team is working to save this environment. And we do this by partnering with other people in the community. This is what I hope for our little church community to be, and I hope for us to be about so much more than just us. And we are situated after all these years to be able to do that, and it is so exciting. And it's going to take creativity and passion, and right now more funds than we currently have. But when we are living into who we are meant to be, the how will take care of itself if we are being the what. I want this little square building to be a source of light in this valley. And I want it to be one of the brightest lights, and we can do that together. And to me, this is what beauty is. So that is what I wrote this time last year. How much has changed? Not a lot, actually. And this year now, we can add to it. Beauty is a young man in scrubs and a mask, standing in the street blocking traffic, with a woman leaning out of her truck screaming at him. Beauty is in the tears of a nurse coming off her shift and the exhaustion in her face, knowing she just spent 12 hours intubating patient after patient in hopes that their lungs might begin to work on their own again. Beauty is the image of a family sitting on their porch with their dog named Bob, howling in support of that nurse every night at 8 p.m. Beauty is friends looking out for each other in the midst of this quarantine, making sure that the isolation isn't becoming suffocation. These are all images of beauty, and they are examples of purpose. So many times we think our purpose has to be about what we are doing, but finding our true purpose is actually more simple than that. It's deciding who we are meant to be and then simply becoming that. We used to think that we were physical beings having a physical experience. And then in high school, I remember being told that we were spiritual beings having a physical experience. And I loved that. And this is the paradigm I hear a lot. But Dr. Sue Morter takes this one step further in her book, The Energy Codes. She says, we are all spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in a physical body. All of life is spiritual, and all of life has meaning. So right now, if you are feeling like you can't do what it is you are meant to do, that's okay. Take a little bit of time to ask yourself a different question. Are you ready to be who you are meant to be? Answer that question first, and I promise you, the perfect action will follow closely behind. And now we are going to sing together in your tail hymnal. What is the song?
How could anyone ever tell you?
Yes, how could anyone ever tell you?
I need to mute myself again.
How could anyone ever